Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate wins the membership of the World Heritage Committee at the General Assembly meetings in the UNESCO premises in Paris. And the wilayas and embassies of the Sultanate continue the 49th Glorious National Day celebrations. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The Sultanate was elected as a member of the World Heritage Committee during the 22nd General Assembly of the States Parties and the Convention for the Protection of the World Cultural and Natural Heritage held at the headquarters of the UNESCO in Paris. The Sultanate won the membership by a majority of 95 votes. The World Heritage Committee is composed of representatives from 21 countries that are elected by the General Assembly. It also undertakes the tasks of studying and approving proposals for enlisting of sites on the World Heritage List. The Sultanate's membership in this committee will be reflected by the preservation and protection of Omani sites enlisted on the World Heritage List, as well as supporting files for future possible sites for inclusion in this list. A reception ceremony was held by the Sultanate's embassy in Germany to rejoice the 49th Glorious National Day. A number of senior officials, diplomats, media people, government representatives, Omani students in Germany were present at the celebration. The ceremony highlighted the Sultanate's good relations with Germany, as well as the achievements realized in Oman in all aspects during the Blessed Renaissance March. The citizens in the wilayah of Sohar in the governorate of North Al-Batina organized a celebration on the occasion of the 49th Glorious National Day. The event witnessed a huge participation from members of the society. It included Omani traditional arts, poetic sessions, and artistic performances, in addition to horse and camel shows. The event came to embody meanings of allegiance and loyalty to the beloved leader and the country. The Omani Women's Association in the wilayah of Taqa in the governorate of Dhofar celebrated the 49th Glorious National Day. The celebration included poetic sessions, singing arts, and children's shows to express feelings of loyalty and gratitude to the builder of Oman's Renaissance, His Majesty the Sultan. A heritage exhibition was also opened during the event to shed light on the deep-rooted Omani traditions. During the celebrations, the participants expressed sincere greetings and best wishes on this glorious occasion, asking the Almighty to return such happy occasions on His Majesty with health and to the dear country with permanent welfare. As part of its training plans to sustain high level of combating performances and efficiency, the Royal Army of Oman continues its participation in the Omani French joint exercise Mountain Warrior 3. During the activities of the exercise, Brigadier Abdullah bin Muhammad al-Badi, commander of the Infantry Brigade 11 at the Royal Army of Oman, was briefed about the training center of the French Armed Forces and its role in the exercise. After that, he toured the training grounds and got acquainted with the practical demonstration of the training procedures. The exercise aims to exchange expertise and keep pace with the latest developments in the military field. Iran today condemned its burning of the consulate in southern Iraq, which came amid an escalation in Iraq's anti-government protests that erupted nearly 2 months ago. Protesters had set fire to the Iranian consulate in the holy city of Najaf late yesterday. The Iranian staff were not harmed and escaped out of the back door. Tehran called for a responsible, strong, and effective response leadership to the incident from Iraq's government. However, Iraq's Ministry of Foreign Affairs condemned the torching of the consulate, saying it was perpetrated by people outside of the genuine protesters, adding that the purpose had been to harm bilateral relations between the two countries. A curfew was imposed in Najaf after the consulate was burned. The consulate attack comes after days of road closure, with protesters cutting access to the main roads and bridges with burning tires. The death toll from the most powerful earthquake to strike Albania rose to 40 today, after more bodies were pulled from the wreckage overnight in a tragedy that has wiped out whole families. The 6.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the Balkan state while people were sleeping just before 4 a.m. on Tuesday, razing buildings and trapping victims beneath the debris in towns near the Adriatic coast. Teams from around Europe have flown to help with the effort to hunt for survivors, around 50 of whom have been pulled out alive, mostly on Tuesday. As the operation stretched into day 3, rescuers insist that there are still reasons to hope for more survival stories. On Tuesday, a woman was heard crying out from inside a wrecked building where she was stuck inside with a dead child. She was eventually rescued but later died in the hospital. The earthquake was the deadliest in several decades in Albania, which lies near a tectonic fault line. Breaking a month-long lull in missile tests, North Korea fired 2 short-range projectiles into the sea off its east coast today, in what appeared to be the latest tryout to its multiple rocket launchers. The test firing came as the clock ticks down on the year-end deadline that Pyongyang had given the United States to show flexibility in their stalled denuclearization talks. It also coincides with the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday and took place 1 day before the 2nd anniversary of the North test of the intercontinental ballistic missile capable of hitting the U.S. mainland. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said that North fired the 2 projectiles into the sea from launchers in the eastern coastal town of Yompo at around 5 p.m. The rockets traveled up to 380 kilometers and reached an altitude of 97 kilometers. Still to come on News Bulletin. The old system of Zijra is still being followed to irrigate the farms in the wilayat of Bahla. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The 6-camel race was held at the wilayat of Omsera in the governorate of South Sharqiyah. The race included 6 rounds and the race course was 1,200 meters long. The camel race witnessed a wide participation by camel owners from various governorates of Oman with the aim of preserving the cultural heritage and pass the torch to the coming Omani generation. In line with the country's celebration of the 49th National Day, Governorate of Dhahira witnessed the 4th school chess competition. The game attracted a huge participation from young chess players who have learned the rules from 3 local chess centers. The event aims at attracting students to this game and sharpening their skills. The chess school competition was held in coordination between 3 local schools in the Governorate of Dhahira and Omani Chess Committee. Many crafts have survived history in the Sultanate of Oman in the course of bringing water from wells to irrigate trees and the farms. Moving to the wilayat of Bahla, you can see the elderly from time to time use zijra, an old irrigation system that extracts water from wells and make it available for irrigation. The irrigation system uses a cow and a donkey to pull 2 huge buckets of water from the well. In the old days, people in Bahla were used to draw water using zijra, a process that lasted from the early morning until sunset. Nowadays, people from Bahla still use zijra to maintain the craft and the memory of the young generation and tourists who are visiting the country. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate wins the membership of the World Heritage Committee at the General Assembly meetings in the UNESCO premises in Paris. And the wilayas and embassies of the Sultanate continue the 49th Glorious National Day celebrations. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and good night.
عطاء الشباب بالبذل والتفاني عزم متوقد بالهمة في بناء عمان. نقترب من تطلعاتهم، أحلامهم، أفكارهم وإنجازاتهم. شبابنا والنهب. يأتيكم في الأوقات التالية.